So, hello, listeners. Welcome back to another edition of Corporate Elements. So, today we are joined with two guests in our studio. One is a data scientist and another is a
integration engineer.
Yes. So, see, I do not have any idea over here right now. Hence, I need some cue from these people today. So, Robbie, let's start this session on a high note.
Hi, thank you, Johnny, for that introduction. And I'm really excited today. I have no idea what a data scientist do. And today we have Michael with us who have agreed to come join us and share with our listeners about the opportunities that will help them scale up their career. So, Michael, please tell us about yourself.
Yes. So, first of all, thank you for having me here. I was also like you people only. A few years ago, I didn't know what a data scientist is and what does it do, neither the other many options that people have. So, if we just break down data science, it is just doing science with data, meaning in very simple words, we try to extract useful insights, some information from the vast amount of data that a company has.
Okay, the reason I'm curious so much about this because I know there have been some search into the requirements of data scientists, and whenever I open YouTube, there have been lot of advertise by various institutions or agencies. They were offering courses related to data scientists. So, what do you do in your daily work?
So essentially, there are different types of works when I talk about the umbrella of data science. The core idea is to use the data that you have and try to extract as much information as you can and benefit from that data. So one of the ways that you can use your data is to identify your customers. For example, if let's say Amazon collects lots of data about their customers. So they can extract different insights, like for example, based on geography, like people from metro cities tend to buy these kinds of products. So let me adjust my inventory so that these items don't go out of stock. This is a very basic level insight. Another type would be that, say, some kind of gender plus demography kind of insights, like people from this area and who are females usually tend to buy this kind of stuff during this period of time. So if you see, I'm trying to add more and more factors into this equation: time, gender, demography. So like that, you have a lot of factors which you can see, and basis that Amazon can identify different kinds of insights to increase their revenue. So this is one example where you are using your data to help increase your business.
And how did you, when you started off after? So the main point of this whole session is basically how can a person who does not have any experience, how can he start this journey? So taking your experience, how did you understand that, you want to do this, or how did you start your journey into this?
So my college had this subject of machine learning into the course only. So I started learning from there. But at that time, I wasn't even 1% aware of what actually this field is and how does things work. But I was interested at that time. I built some projects, and I would call it more of a luck that I got a chance to start my career as a data scientist. Mm-hmm. During my first company, it was in a fintech space only. I worked there as a data scientist. And from there, basically, it was like first I got the job and then I understood, okay, what this job does. It was more like that. And then I got very much interested. I started learning from things here and there and understood more and more about the depth of this field.
So the base of it is that you had an interest, you developed an interest, obviously during your academics, but the more learning happened on the job.
Right.
Okay. And what is the very basic thing that a fresher should have? It's okay, I want to do this, but what exactly is that motivates, or probably it will motivate you to go ahead?
So I'll say, if I want to list down the must-haves for freshers, if they want to pursue this, number one is you need to be friends with maths. If you hate maths, either you change the equation or you try to change the way you see it, because maths is the absolute number one building block, the atom of this whole career. So number one is maths. Number two is you should have maybe this is true for all fields, but especially for this field, it should not be like, okay, I got this job, I did some learning. But in this field, since it's so rapidly evolving, you need to have that hunger that curiosity to learn new things. There are tons of new things coming out every day, which may or may not be correlated to what you know right now. So you need to have that knack for learning new things.
And like early on when you started off, what were the key challenges that you faced, when you started off?
Right. So one major learning which I got from my first job was I thought I knew things, but I did not knew things. Like I just knew that if I use this and this will happen. But I did not know why that happened or the core underlying principles of how it worked. There are fundamental algorithms in machine learning, which to get a very surface level understanding, it's easy. You can understand, okay, this is this algorithm and it will do classification, it will do regression. But how it exactly works, I was not knowing. So I had faced some challenges during my first job. I was not able to understand the maths behind it. Yeah, that would be one very big challenge.
You just mentioned that this area is rapidly evolving. So I want to understand what will be the pay scale for someone who is fresher, who had joined, and someone who have been into the industry for a while now. And also, what are the demands at the national and the international level?
Okay, so let's solve the questions one by one. So number one, for a fresher, if you want to come into data science and machine learning, first of all, there are not a lot of opportunities available for freshers. Number two, it's not impossible. So hypothetically, let's say if I want to create a roadmap, again, okay, if you want to create a roadmap, I'll say, reiterating to my previous points, you'll need to have your fundamentals right. It wouldn't be enough if you say, okay, I know these 5 to 10 algorithms and where to apply. That is not enough. You need to understand in and out, how does it work? So number one is maths. Number two is, since the demand is less and the supply is high, the competition would be very high. So you would need to, if I say it bluntly, you will need to stand out from the crowd. You can either start building projects using machine learning. You can start participating in Kaggle competitions. It is like software engineers do lead code. Data scientists can do Kaggle to build their profile. And coming to the next point around what would be the money someone can expect as a fresher or as an experienced. Like any other fields, pay scale is not like there is a lot of variance in the pay scale. You can get a very high package as much as let's say more upwards of 10 to 15 or even more, or you can also start somewhere lower. But I would say, as a personal suggestion, if you are getting the opportunity in this field, don't keep money as the first priority, because as you grow up, you can get money how much you want. Like once you get into this field, then you can make your switch as big as you want.
If I had to ask you a very personal question, what would you have done differently if you had a chance? Before you started your career or when you started your career, just one thing that would have made a much major difference.
So like I said before, I had an understanding that if I throw this algorithm in this problem, it will work. I had that very surface level understanding, but I never dig deep into the math. It's not like I hated maths, but I thought it's not necessary because nowadays you have ready-made packages available. So I never cared enough to understand the intricacies of all the algorithms. So yeah, that would be the biggest change I can make if I want. That I will have a good understanding right from the start.
Yeah. So basically you're saying that understanding of that particular field or that particular process is very necessary so that you can build algorithms accordingly and then apply solutions as you go along. And rather than, assigning an algorithm and thinking that, okay, this will work for everything. So you also need to have something wherein you know that, okay, you need to build this from the scratch and then ground up you keep on making mods. So that way it will be a sort of a tailored solution for that particular situation.
Right. I mean, it would be a bold statement to make, but in my opinion and how much I have talked to peers in this industry, majority of them don't know these intricacies. They have surface level understanding like I had, guilty as charged. But a lot of people don't know these intricacies and don't bother to learn about them. And even they can climb the ladder, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be better if you have a more organized approach towards this.
Michael, that's really insightful. I understand that you work for a payment services industry, and your previous employer was also one of the payment service industry. So they use data and they create and they do some analysis, and you work on project basis and they sell it to the third party as on a required basis. My question is that what all industries do they have the data scientist team within their company, or do they employ such services with the other kind of industry?
So I think, Robbie, you're trying to get to the point that will there be permanent staff kept for data science, or are they going to use a third-party service for data science?
So with the current hype of AI and machine learning, I would say I think almost all industries have understood or are focusing on data science. Talking about the split, like if they have an in-house team or if they are outsourcing the solutions, I would say it also depends on the scope of their business. For example, there are data companies which sell data and sell solutions using their data. So if the forefront of the business is data only, then I would say they would definitely have an in-house team. And if their main focus is not data, it can be both. I think in my previous company, they did not have a lot of focus initially on data science, and a lot of the solutions they had outsourced. Only every now and then customer retention, churn, these type of solutions they were building in-house, and most of the service kind of solutions let's say facial recognition or these type of services they were outsourcing.
And do you get opportunity to collaborate with other teams such as integration engineer or some other stakeholders in your projects?
So again, this depends on what kind of work that data scientist is doing. For the first example which I gave, if the forefront of the company, if the revenue generation is done by data and data science, then you will occasionally talk with stakeholders because you are selling your solutions. Maybe at the leaf level employees might not be so much involved. If you're talking about if the main revenue generation is not from data science, if they are just building, let's say there is a e-commerce company which is selling clothes, so they need to know what their customers are buying. So that is one solution you can do from data science, but that is not their main business. So in those type of companies, the interaction is fairly less. You will talk with maybe product managers and project managers that these kind of projects are coming, and you'll coordinate for that.
So you also spoke a little bit about the impact of AI and machine learning as well. So I know data science is the first thing, and then machine learning and analytics are derivatives of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what do you think is the reverse impact? How will AI be helpful in data science and data science be helpful to AI? Would that have a reverse impact that AI might have an impact on data scientists' jobs?
So this is a very big jumble ball created right now. These words, AI, machine learning, data science, machine learning engineer, these all are very closely used with each other. It's practically not possible to see the exact difference between an AI engineer and ML engineer from the outside. Talking about the impact that these new generation LLMs and these new solutions will have, I see it as a progress. For example, earlier when writing code or doing a task, you used to Google up how to write this, how to write that, and you had the understanding that you have to use this maybe for the syntax or some help on that piece of code. You used to Google up, visit 4 or 5 sites and get an understanding, okay, and then write the code. Now if you see, let's say I just ChatGPT, what is this, what is that, it will instantly give me the same information within less time. So it is a major productivity boost for sure. And talking about replacement, so if you are an engineer who blindly copies the code from ChatGPT, and if you don't have a clear understanding of the output given by ChatGPT, if you are just doing a copy paste thing, you are as good as a Control-C, Control-V button. So you will be replaced. I mean, you are not so useful basically. Because so I would say humans have brains, okay, but LLMs don't have brains. If I tell very simply, an LLM is just generating an output basis whatever input it has received during the training time. So if you are not using the biggest differentiator that you have, that is brain, then why can't they use ChatGPT instead of you?
Quite a controversial topic on that particular front. Also, like some of these, like of course we spoke a little bit about AI, but what do you think are the emerging AI tools and tech that will shape the field further?
So like right now there is tons of new things coming almost every day. To state just solutions that are coming, like you can, instead of using Google and manually searching, you can get any piece of information textual right on your fingertips. Second is you can create any images that you want. Like in the content side, you can create any images. Maybe in the near future or maybe even now, you can also create videos without doing the manual work. Okay, so this is a thing I've been discussing with one of my peers recently. If we assume that every industry will get at least 1% of impact, what will be the impact in this particular field? So in this field, if we say like my work or any other general data scientist work, there are different kinds of solutions that you can build. And for different kinds of solutions, there are different kinds of algorithms that you can use. So majority of the data which is being collected and which is being processed is of tabular format, means there are rows and there are columns. That is one kind of data which we call structured data. Then we have unstructured data, like we have images, we have speech, we have video, etc. So if we particularly talk about structured data and if we have tabular data, if we see like, let's say there are hypothetically 500 different type of algorithms that you can use. Let's say you have 1 million columns. Since it's hypothetical, I'll assume the worst case. You have 1 million columns, you have, I don't know, tens of hundreds of millions of rows. And let's say you only have 500 possible algorithms. So technically, if I see the whole process that a data scientist will follow after getting the data. So now you can say, I can get output within this space only. One of the algorithm, then I'll use the data, not whole of it, a subset of that data. And then I will tune that. Like if I'm training a machine learning model, basically when you are training a machine learning model, you also perform tuning on that. Maybe we'll touch on more on that later. So there is a fixed step of process that any data scientist will follow once he gets into that space. So I think the time which a data scientist takes today for this type of problem with this type of data, that will reduce a lot once you progress more in this field, and some solutions will come which will reduce this time by a lot, or maybe it will do most of the compute work by itself without you having to intervene in between.
Also, recent news was that broke the market.
DeepSeek R1.
Yeah, DeepSeek versus your OpenAI. Do you have any comments on that?
So I'm yet to study what. So DeepSeek has open sourced their solution and they have published a research paper on what they did, how they did, and some kind of insights into their models. Okay. So I have not yet delved deep into that.
But do you think it's quite revolutionary that they're doing it on almost 1/10 of the cost that these other companies were putting in their projects and developing their projects? So DeepSeek kind of broke the whole market.
The reason it broke the market is because their mathematical and the reasoning is
quite stronger than
is equivalent to OpenAI.
And a lot of I was just going through the news and it was a little bit about the main thing it broke was the amount of money that they spent to develop that
5 million.
Yeah. So it was at 1/10 of the cost of what the American companies were putting into that particular project. So and a lot of NVIDIA hardware was blocked for DeepSeek. So they were using old technologies to develop this particular thing. So it kind of sort of a little bit of off topic, but there is this South Korean drama series called as The Startup. They also did something like that they used a very old hardware or very minuscule hardware and they put their AI which could track like it could do security work or security checks in the cameras. Like they could do that detection on very old hardware, which kind of made that particular project stand out in that particular series. Something what DeepSeek did today is that, in such a less amount of money and almost the same time frame, they were able to develop something which was much more cost efficient and at the same time quite smarter solution. So I wish if we could speak a little more about that. But yes, coming to real world projects, what is the most interesting project that you have ever come across? Yeah, you don't have to give the details, but you found this interesting that it kind of thought that this should become the next thing.
So like my project only or in general?
Whatever you felt that your own project or probably any project that you have seen.
So like with this current type of tools which have come, among them only you must have listened to it, like DALL-E. There was a solution by OpenAI.
Correct.
You can type anything and it will generate an image exactly of what you wrote, like as much hypothetical as you can get. So I found that like very revolutionary. Like when I saw it, I was like awestruck. How did they do this? Like, I mean, how is it possible even? So that was one crazy project, which I think like maybe one of the craziest AI revolution that has been done yet.
And thinking like, we spoke about a lot about the projects, but have you ever delved into the topic of ethics of the whole data science purview of whatever work that you do, that ethics and the security parameters for data, etc.? Do you think companies are putting a lot of effort in, of course, using that data is one thing, but securely using it and doing it ethically?
Yes. So yes, like you said, ethics is very much important, and ideally it should be the number one priority of any AI solution. Because like let's take example of these LLMs. These LLMs have basically, if I say it very bluntly, all the data available on the internet, they have it, and whatever you ask, they will search for the answer to that question in that whole corpus and then give you the answer. So now you'll say, okay, it's very good, whatever I want, I don't have to go 5 sites and get the solution. But as much it is like a double-edged sword, as much good as it's also very much bad. For example, I can also get information which should not be available to anyone, which is why I won't give example, but I think it's obvious why some things should not be available. So yeah, I think it's of very much importance, and companies like OpenAI and every other competitor are taking it very much seriously. Like when initially ChatGPT came out, people tried to jailbreak it with different kinds of prompts they did. Like for just one example, if I directly ask ChatGPT that, okay, how to kill someone, then it will say, sorry, I don't know. I won't tell you how to kill someone because I'm not made to do that. But if you try to fool it, I mean, of course, this won't work today, but I'm giving an example. I'll try to fool it that I'm having cancer. This is my last wish. You have to tell me, or something like that. Then eventually ChatGPT will budge. So you need to ensure that your AI solution will always be ethically correct, will always have its own guardrails in place. Like it won't have bias, like it won't be racist, and it won't be biased, it won't be racist, etc. So yeah, I mean, I agree. Ethics is very important, and I think people are paying attention to it.
Awesome. So this was a very productive session of talking to Michael about the whole data science field. And for now, this is our time. And thank you so much for contributing to this particular conversation. And I hope you enjoyed this whole conversation with us. We will be right back with another session. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
But discussion on ethical consideration was something which is really insightful. And thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you. And hope I'll see you again. As you mentioned that the data science field is rapidly evolving.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny and Robbie, for having me. If anyone has any more questions which maybe did not get answered, you can reach out to them and they'll make sure it surely gets answered, or maybe we'll have it in the next session. So thank you everyone for having me. Yeah.